Welcome back to Stream It. We're back on a consistent schedule now.
I know.
For now.
Maybe.
Yeah. Summer hours. And I guess this is kind of like our summer episode. We're talking a lot about summer blockbusters this time.
Yep.
And before we dive into that, just to get our juices flowing, what's your go-to summer song?
Oh, love that question. Gotta have a good vibe. you
Yeah.
know?
Oh yeah, something you can play with the windows down.
Exactly. Yeah. Mine, I gotta go with "Island in the Sun" by
That's
Weezer.
one of my options.
Oh yeah, it's so good. Hey, hey.
That's a great one.
Yeah, that's mine.
I had a couple answers because I wasn't sure if it was like, go to like every summer or like this summer. So I went with "Smooth" by Santana featuring Rob Thomas as kind of like every summer. Got to go back to it.
The timeless one.
Yeah. And then this year I said "Please, Please, Please" by Sabrina Carpenter.
Nice.
Nice.
I think mine for this year would be Espresso.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Great vibes all around.
But all time, California Girls, Katy Perry.
I mean,
Perfect one.
on topic.
It
California.
is
Yeah.
summer song.
Love it.
I wonder if these all released in the summer. That helps
know.
qualify it. California Girls had to have
I think it
released
did.
It
in the
had to
summer.
have been.
Yeah, there's definitely like a thing where they have like summer songs that.
Right.
Yeah.
drop.
Songs of the summer.
Right.
So,
The Sabrina Carpenter ones did.
yeah. These
It was
are new.
like end of May, June.
Mm-hmm.
Prime time.
Right.
They have just enough time to get popular, and then they're on your playlist all summer long.
Well, it's funny because Espresso, she like released like randomly, like no announcement. She was just like, "Oh, I'm performing at Coachella tomorrow. I'll just throw
Here's a
out
new
this.
song."
Yeah, here's a new song. I'll just throw it out now."
Wow.
And then it blew up, and now it's the song of the summer. And she was like, "Oh,
I
okay,
like,
I like it."
her nonsense song.
Yeah,
That one's good. It's funny.
her song "Feather" is really good too.
Yeah, she's killing it.
Yeah.
There you go.
There was a quick little side story.
Mhm.
She's coming to TD Garden this fall, I guess, and she did a bunch of pre-sales for tickets. And I guess one of them was a Spotify one for like top listeners or something.
Mm-hmm.
And my friend was telling me about how the Spotify one would have been really good to have because like it was really early access and pretty cheap, and she was so bummed she didn't get it. And like, you know how like Spotify gives you a lot of like ads sometimes, like they pop and you just like swipe away.
Right.
So like 2 days before my friend told me this, I did get one of those little pop-up things, and it was about Sabrina Carpenter because I saw it and I was just like, like exit it out, swiped it away. And I was
You
like,
think?
that might have been a pre-sale thing. And my friend was like, "You're joking." Like, that's so annoying. I was like, "My bad. Sorry." Thought it was an ad.
Get that out of here.
here. Stop telling me things. Pop-up. I mean, we're trained to ignore pop-ups.
Just click out of it immediately.
Right.
Right.
Because it's usually just like oh, this person just released a new song.
Right,
Want to
right, right.
listen? It's like, no.
Right.
So on the other side, now we're going to talk about summer blockbuster movies. We found a list that is, I think, just the biggest blockbuster from each year since 1975. So not necessarily a list of like the best ranked, but
Right.
still serve its purpose for
It
us.
Right,
makes sense
right.
that it started in 1975 because the original blockbuster, as proclaimed by everyone or just you?
This is an everyone thing. This is not just me. Why do you think the list started in 1950?
Right, I
Because
guess so.
they didn't exist before.
So Jaws, right?
Just the first one
Because
is Jaws.
it's Jaws.
The first
Do you know-
official summer blockbuster.
Do you know why they're called blockbusters?
It's the-
Because the line would go down the whole block
Yeah. I think.
to get in.
that makes sense.
That does.
Unless that was just a myth. There's another reason for it.
It's
But I think
gotta be
that's it.
that.
It's got to be it.
Because especially, so number 3 on the list is Star Wars A New Hope,
Mm-hmm.
which they thought the movie would do super bad. And then
It
they,
crushed.
Right.
the line went down the whole street, and like the actors couldn't even like get in to the theater to say like, "Whoa, so many people are here."
That's crazy.
So should I like
Yeah, let's just go through them.
go through them?
Yeah.
All right. So number 1 is Jaws.
Mm-hmm.
Checks out.
Back in
Classic.
1975.
Number 2 is The Omen. I'm not sure.
Maybe it was just a down year.
Yeah.
They had the first summer blockbuster, and they didn't have anything to
It's a
back it
horror-
up the next year.
Yeah, it is a horror movie.
These aren't like year by year though, right? It's like every couple of years. There's a couple gaps in there, right?
This is most of the year, but I
This is
think
almost-
2020 and 2021 were skipped because there were no movies that really came out.
Oh, I thought they were kind of spaced a little bit more. But
So
that's
far, the first 10 are year by year.
cool. Oh, okay.
I think it's basically year by
It
year.
was a pretty big time in movies back
They
then.
really, yeah.
Once you hit like a Jaws, like a, you start the summer blockbuster
Yeah.
thing.
Right.
You're like, oh, we gotta do this again.
So number 3 is A New Hope.
Mm-hmm.
Huge.
Checks
Classic.
out.
Number 4 is Grease.
Mm-hmm.
Love that.
That's crazy.
I
My
mean-
mom said she saw it like 4 times in theaters.
Yeah, the hype around that.
That's, yeah.
None of us were alive, but the hype around that.
So we're told.
Yeah, was crazy. And it makes sense. I mean, that movie is still like,
Which
It's,
is
like,
funny.
still
'cause
hyped
it's,
up.
Right, it is hyped
it's
up.
still a good
But
movie.
it's funny how much, like, that was a musical, and it's funny how much you can't advertise musicals anymore.
It's hard.
Like,
Yeah.
they even hide the fact that it's a musical to try to, get people to come and see it.
They try to trick you.
Right.
Really?
Just don't
I
do it.
feel like there's a place for them
I mean,
still.
I think, like, animated, they do fine. But, like, live-action musicals, I feel like don't perform well as much anymore.
Washington Heights or whatever it was that. my
Rent?
dad-
It's called Rent?
Yes, but also the newest Lin-Manuel Miranda
Lin-Manuel
movie.
Miranda, yeah.
Maybe another one.
It was called something.
Something Heights.
Yeah,
In the Heights.
In the Heights.
In the Heights.
Yes.
Rent is a different musical altogether.
Yeah.
So like when Wonka came out, it wasn't
Yeah.
advertised as a musical.
Yeah. But it was.
Yeah.
But it was.
Same with like people say
Same-
the Mean Girls movie,
Same with Mean Girls, the musical, the movie.
but I would argue that you don't have to. It's kind of obvious.
Well, people thought it was just a remake.
Yeah,
'Cause those
that's
are
true.
abundant.
But
There's-
the trailer did have a whole thing of Regina George singing "My name is Regina George."
There was a clip someone took from inside the movie, technically illegal, but it was when I forget all their characters' name, but when Lindsay Lohan's character
Katie.
Katie starts singing for the first time
Yeah.
and people realize it's a musical, there's just like a collective groan in the audience. Just like but it's also like, do some research before you go see a movie.
Yeah, like
I find it hard to believe that anyone just shows up to a theater and is like, I'll watch that one.
especially if you thought that Mean Girls was like a remake or something. Like, wouldn't you confirm
Right.
like, oh, is this like a reboot or like a continuation? Like, I would look it up.
Yeah.
But I also like musicals.
Yeah, I guess
So
I'm surprised that musicals are out of.
They're just not blockbusters anymore, I guess.
Yeah.
I think like they
Unless
want
they're
to
animated.
pull in every demographic, and they know that a huge chunk of people don't.
Right.
But then people were like, oh yeah, that's what every person loves, like being tricked
right.
into spending their money on something they don't want to see.
Wow.
Yeah, so Grease, one of a kind.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
And then number 5 is one of my favorites, Alien. I wasn't alive, but I like it now.
Yeah.
Right. Another horror.
Yeah.
I feel like, again, horrors probably couldn't pull that wide of a range, or they get released in the fall.
Yeah, now they always get released in the fall, I feel like.
Yeah. And then number 6 is Star Wars Empire Strikes Back.
Checks out.
It's crazy how quickly they pumped Star Wars out
I know.
before they got.
Well, for the sequels,
Big.
they did it every 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But back then, but that was like planned.
Yeah.
They just did this on their own.
Number 7 is Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Classic.
Classic.
Big George
Adven-
Lucas decade.
Yeah, adventure. Steven Spielberg knows how to pump
Yeah.
out some blockbusters.
The
He has an
Indiana Jones and Star Wars, like,
era.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Imagine being a fan of just like fun adventure films
yeah.
in the 70s.
So when Star Wars A New Hope was getting released, George Lucas was so sure it was going to fail, and he was so embarrassed that when it came out, he like fled to Hawaii and was like, I don't even want to be there when it like comes out. And while in Hawaii escaping Star Wars, he wrote the first Indiana Jones.
Oh, wow.
Huh.
And then came back and was like, oh my god, people love Star Wars. Well,
Gotta get
okay.
working on
Like,
the
I'll
next
keep
one.
doing that, I guess. Number 8, E.T.
There you go, Spielberg
A
again.
lot of classics.
Those are,
Number
Other
9,
stuff.
Return of the Jedi.
there you go.
Number 10, Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom. Ooh,
This is
11.
like the formation of.
This is also like people are like,
Blockbusters.
oh, everything was just sequels back then. We just listed like 3 in a row
Yeah.
that were the best movies of the year.
Yeah. Number 11, Back to the Future.
Ah,
There you go.
What a
Love that
crazy
one.
time. Number 12, Top Gun.
they don't miss.
Wait,
That-
what year are we on now?
1986.
86.
First Top Gun, kind of stupid. I only saw it for the first time like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, like, definitely I could see how in the 80s it was
Oh,
crazy.
yeah. Quintessential.
But, like, really weird.
Yeah.
Like, silly. Like, I don't know.
Right.
Kind of just goofy, like, acting and
Yeah.
premises.
Right.
And even, like, my parents were like, yeah. No, yeah, it was kind of stupid back then, but it was awesome. I was like, oh, okay.
Guys being dudes.
Yeah. Loud noises.
Yeah.
Number 13, 1987, Beverly Hills Cop 2. When did the first one come out?
Not in the
Just
summer.
not in the summer, yeah,
Yeah.
right?
Must have been 85. Or it must have been competing with like Star Wars.
Or just wasn't in the summer. Yeah.
That's
Maybe,
true. I
yeah.
keep forgetting this is
Right.
only
the top
summer.
of the year.
Yeah.
Number 14 is crazy. Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
That's electric.
Sick movie.
I
can't
have a
believe-
hard time believing that was like as big a,
A
blockbuster
blockbuster.
as some of these other ones.
So its worldwide box office was 329 million.
Seems small for the list.
Pretty good, yeah. But pretty good for Who Framed Roger Rabbit, I
Right.
guess.
That's true.
I mean,
That
it
is,
was
like,
live
kinda-
It was a great
action
film.
Quirky,
cartoon.
off,
And it is like a
movie.
right. It is like an adult film.
Yeah.
Like it's not for kids.
And it was probably, I mean, for 88, they combined cartoon and live action. That was probably
Right.
a little crazy.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true.
I loved that
Must have
movie
been
as a
cool.
kid. I
Awesome
didn't know it was
movie.
from the 80s.
Yeah. Christopher Lloyd.
Right.
Right.
Gotta watch it again. It's
Gotta
on
watch it
Netflix
again.
now, I think. Number
Put it on the list.
15, Last Crusade, Indiana Jones.
There you
There
go.
it is. Back to it.
Keep them coming.
16, Ghost, 1990.
It's a weird one.
People
That
loved
was
though.
huge,
people
yeah.
loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That had some.
17, Terminator 2,
Oh yeah.
There you
Judgment
go.
Let's
Day.
go.
That's a blockbuster.
Yeah.
Blow stuff up.
Spielberg
Arnold
had
Schwarzenegger.
a heavy hand in these blockbuster films.
He was on a roll. 18, Lethal Weapon 3.
Slow year.
Okay.
Sure.
19, coming back in hot with Jurassic Park.
There you go. Right back to it.
You gotta love it.
20, The Lion King. Original, obviously.
There you go. Is that the first fully animated film to be like the top of
That's
the
been
year?
on the list, yeah.
Yeah.
That was huge. I remember going to the theater for that.
Yeah.
Everybody had to go see Lion King,
Yeah.
and it was epic.
21, Die Hard with a Vengeance. Is that the full name of the movie?
It's one of the sequels.
Oh, okay.
All the sequels are Die Hard and then more words.
Oh, okay.
I feel like if you got like, you released that, what, Christmas time? Wasn't that like sort of a Christmas
The
movie?
first Die Hard.
First one
Some
took place
people
during
say
Christmas.
it's a Christmas
Right.
movie.
He's flying home to see his kids.
But once you get that like that hype and that following, you're like, all right, now we're gonna release a sequel. That's
Right,
gonna be a
right.
blockbuster, and like everyone's gonna love it.
Right. Kind of hard to sell a whole audience on a new film.
Right.
Right. Easy enough to be like, you guys remember Die Hard? Like, we're going to blow a bunch of stuff up and we're
Right.
going to release it during the summer. And
Yeah.
everyone's like, yeah, I'll go see
Let's
that.
go. New Die Hard movie.
Right.
Next one is Independence Day. Year I was born, 1996.
It's a great movie.
Wait, what year were you born?
90. I was 6.
Yours was Jurassic Park. No, that's 93.
Mine was Ghost.
Oh,
Well,
nice. 97, number 23, Lost World, Jurassic Park.
yes.
Interesting.
That's a good one. 24, Armageddon.
Oh,
That was,
that one
A
tugs
big
on
one.
your heartstrings.
yeah.
Great
Ooh.
song came out of that one.
Yeah.
25, The Phantom Menace.
Wow.
99.
Awesome. Yep.
Yeah, that's my year. Tough one. Tough one to. A lot of hype. Didn't People got pissed.
Now it's beloved though, to some extent.
Other
The
than
prequels in
taking on the life of their own.
in general, people have come around to. I feel like the idea of them. If you go back and watch it, it's not.
Oh no, it's not good, but it's also
The idea.
so good.
Right. I think people just like miss Qui-Gon. Like, oh, what a cool character.
And Obi-Wan.
And Obi-Wan, right? Young Ewan McGregor.
I'm pretty sure I watched those 3 before I saw the original ones as a kid, because we had them on VHS,
Right.
and at the time they were like really good looking.
Right.
Like, it looked really good.
CGI. Newfangled.
Wasn't Jar Jar Banks is like one of the first fully CGI'd characters. There's something where like he was the first ever,
Like talking.
like
Character with
fully
dialogue.
CGI'd, yeah.
Interesting.
And the
That
actor
checks
who
out.
played him was like, it's a shame people hated me so much for being Jar Jar Banks, because like we actually really innovated something here.
Right. Right.
Yeah, they should have come up with a more enjoyable character.
But did you know, like, so I think the actor's name is Ahmad Best. He has a role he showed up in, what was it?
Was it Ahsoka?
I think it was Ahsoka.
Yeah.
He showed up as just like a regular, like as himself, as like a Jedi in like one of the flashbacks. And so, because he loved Star Wars,
Right.
not a lot of people liked him because they blamed him for Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah.
We got like death threats. Him
Yeah.
and the little boy who played Anakin.
Right.
So rough
People
movie
really
to be
did
in.
not like Phantom Menace. But it's nice that they, gave him another shot to
Yeah.
be a part of the universe.
And I mean, it's on the summer blockbuster list. They did
Pe-
something.
People
right.
did see it. They did go see it.
Made almost $1 billion. 26, Mission Impossible 2. Those were
Interesting.
big ones. Still are. 27, Shrek.
Awesome.
Yes.
I love
Amazing one.
it.
It's nice. Now we're all of age of the movies of like coming out.
We were all
Right.
alive. 28.
Alive and like able to enjoy a movie.
Yeah. Spider-Man. 28.
Another
That
great
was
one.
huge.
2002.
I mean, first big. I mean, there were the
This was like the start of superhero movies.
This was like the start of Marvel.
right. There were the
Yeah.
There were the Keaton Batmans, the Christopher Reeves Supermans, but right. This was the first big Marvel one that hit, and also just like. I don't know, like it spawned 2 sequels. Like people were so into it.
I think it was that to the like the modern version of the start, like the origin stories,
Mm-hmm.
because like none of those had been done. Well, I guess like Batman,
Right.
we know the Batman story, but yeah, just like and then when Iron Man came out, it was like that the origin
Right.
thing, and it was just
When it
people
starts off,
loved
it's
it.
just
Yeah.
the guy.
right.
Yeah.
That kind of started off all that for the modern like superhero movies.
It's also the first one I remember. I know they did it before Spider-Man, but like the Happy Meals were all like Spider-Man related. Like
Yeah.
everything
Oh, it was huge.
in
Yeah.
life started to just be like Spider-Man, and it was like,
Right.
oh,
Right.
this is like a thing.
I think it was great that it was
Movie.
Spider-Man too. Like everyone, loved the cartoon, and like I don't know, he's kind of a good superhero. To, like,
Already a
start
great
that.
character that
Yeah.
everyone knows.
Right.
Like it's easy to convince your kid to go see Spider-Man.
And there
because-
hadn't been like 4 Batman, you know what I mean? Like 4
Right.
Spider-Man movies
Yeah.
that had been,
Right.
29, Finding Nemo. I remember
Awesome.
seeing that
Awesome.
one in theaters.
Yeah, me too. And that was like I don't know, a big step for Pixar, like Under the Ocean
Yeah.
and like the fish characters. I mean, Toy Story obviously was great and
Right.
had set them up, but this was like a different, like, cool take.
And like knowing how hard it is for them now to animate water and everything.
Right.
That was so ambitious, and it looked so good.
Yeah.
It still looks good.
It looks
Right.
great.
30, Shrek 2.
Of course.
I remember
Wow.
seeing that in theaters too.
The Shrek saga was fun.
31, Revenge of the Sith. Big one.
So it did show up again.
Made less than Phantom Menace.
Probably because people were
People were upset.
mad at how the first 2 went. But that's a great movie.
Great movie. 32, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest.
Interesting.
The Pirates.
Pirates
That
movies.
was a big.
And,
that was
like-
a big hype.
Summer blockbuster. Like, you want to see pirates on the open ocean. Like, that's perfect time
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
release pirate
It had
movie.
like a summer feel to it.
Yeah.
Agreed.
33, Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End.
Yeah, they were like that.
They
Was
go
so
back
good.
to back.
Yeah,
Wow.
which is actually very impressive.
1 year apart. I wonder if they just like filmed it all at once.
Oh, I just realized that they tell you like what else came out that summer, and like they beat, so like at World's End beat out Order of the Phoenix and Spider-Man 3 for
Huh.
biggest summer blockbuster.
Oh, wow.
That's interesting. I didn't notice that until right
That's
now.
for like a what is that? The third Pirates movie
Yeah.
to beat one of the Harry Potters and Spider-Man. That's
crazy.
pretty impressive.
34, The Dark Knight.
Awesome one.
Huge.
I mean,
Huge hype. Huge.
blockbuster of the century.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously.
35, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince beat out Transformers 2. Sad.
I helped with that. I think that was the one Harry Potter I saw in theaters.
Oh, okay. 36, Toy Story 3. Huge one.
So huge.
Man.
I remember that.
Saw that one in IMAX.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, we thought this was the end of Toy Story.
Joke's
that
on
you had
us.
to go see it. Joke's on us. They're coming out with a fifth one.
Beat
Oh,
out
man.
Inception.
Really?
Kind of crazy.
Inception was
Toy Story,
huge too.
Yeah, it does make sense. 37, Deathly Hollows Part 2.
Big
Oh
one. I mean,
no, beat out Transformers 3.
Transformers can't win.
Transformers will have its time.
Ooh, the next one's kind of a crazy pairing. So 38 is The Avengers. Beat The Dark Knight Rises.
Mm.
Yeah, but Avengers.
The Avengers was huge.
I mean, this is the turn.
Yeah.
The tides turned. I mean, Spider-Man obviously launched Marvel, but then DC came right back and gave us the Christopher Nolan Batmans. Mm-hmm. And everyone's like, these are the greatest movies of all time in general.
It's true.
And then this was the turn,
Yeah.
the flip.
And it's crazy how fast they pumped out Marvel before, because 39 is Iron Man 3. 1 year later, they
Right.
already have
Right.
an Iron Man out.
The Avengers 2 is like the first culmination of those like original.
Right.
Yeah.
So like that's like
It's impressive.
that's the best. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they kept it going with Endgame and like all that, but the like original
Right.
like Avengers and their origin stories culminated in
Yeah.
that first like Avengers movie was.
Right.
And there
Like,
was
that
only
was
like
awesome.
5 of them at the time. But at the time, it was like,
The fact
oh
that
my
any-
God, they're all in it together.
Right,
that
right, right.
many.
Because there were
cele-
there was nothing. No, like, Batman had their own movies. Superman had its own movies.
Right,
Like,
there was no, like-
Spider-Man came out. He was by himself. I guess X-Men kind of had a group of superheroes, but that was already a group.
Right.
Yeah.
To have like 3 staples come together,
Yeah.
And it made sense.
right? It
It
made
like
sense.
was
You
continuing
kind of
the
already
story.
weaved the post-credit scenes of the other movies leading up to it.
Yeah, it was pretty smart how they did that.
Everything was tied in. Like Captain America had the plot with the cube,
Yes.
the Tesseract. Thor's brother showed up as the main villain. Iron Man
Introduced
tower.
Hawkeye.
right
Gave first
Hawkeye
time Black
and
Widow was
Black
Black
Widow.
Widow.
was Iron Man 2 was
Yeah.
Black Widow's appearance.
Yeah.
So like he tied in those other characters.
Crazy.
It was a great culmination.
I don't know.
Crazy. I saw this movie before I saw any other Marvel movie, just because my friends wanted to go,
Oh, wow.
and I was so confused.
Yeah.
Like who are these
But
people?
I was still like, wow, cool.
You didn't see Iron Man? I feel like that was such like a good kickoff to the Marvel.
Yeah.
Also the first time the Hulk hulked out.
right.
Since I mean there were other Hulk movies.
It was the
I
first
guess
Mark Ruffalo
The
Hulk
first
out.
Mark Ruffalo hulking out
Was in the Avengers?
was in the
Yeah.
Avengers.
Oh yeah.
I guess right, forgot. Edward Norton. Technically a part of the Marvel MCU,
But not.
but
Yeah.
not.
They tried and nope. Actually, they tried twice, didn't they?
There was one in like the early 2000s, and then there's the Edward Norton one that was technically a part of, like, there's a post-credit scene with Sam Jackson,
Oh yeah.
and then they had to recast him.
But Mark
It was
Ruffalo is
Mark
good.
Ruffalo.
He's good.
He's a good
Yeah,
Bruce Banner.
love me some Hulk.
Okay, 40. This one's for Tam. Transformers: Age of Extinction.
We did
It's
it.
time.
We hit the blockbuster.
Beat out Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's
Wow.
right. Because Optimus Prime rode an ancient dinosaur transformer.
Iconically.
Out of a
That's
cave.
what you got to do.
And I saw that in IMAX as well, and it was
You know who
glorious.
didn't ride a dinosaur transformer?
Quill.
Quill. Peter Quill.
Yeah. I like that you used his like legal name,
He's right.
not like Star Lord.
I couldn't think of Star-Lord.
Peter
and
Quill.
And I blanked on his Chris
Chris Pratt.
Chris
Pratt.
Pratt.
I blanked on his name. Cam saved me there.
41. Jurassic World.
Oh, a lot of
Big
hype.
one.
Saw that one in IMAX.
That was like the same as when like Force Awakens came out, and it was like, oh, they're bringing it back.
Yeah,
Like
right.
Jurassic World had that punch from
Right.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park.
And that like, nostalgia.
Chris
People
Pratt
again.
from-
Yeah, he had 2 big summers.
Yeah.
Good for him.
I mean, yeah.
They beat out Age of Ultron.
Wow.
Jurassic World did.
Impressive.
All right, next year, 42. Captain America: Civil War. Huge one.
Basically, Avengers 3.
First Spider-Man appearance in the
Right,
the
right,
new
right.
MCU.
Mm-hmm.
And it brought in like Ant-Man and Wasp, right?
Mhm.
And like
They
some of
right.
the other.
It was
like-
basically like mini Infinity War.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. After Ultron, they had a few new origin stories.
Right.
Brought them in.
Yeah.
43. Despicable Me 3.
Mm-hmm.
Beat out
Love it.
Spider-Man: Homecoming.
3? Jeez.
Yeah.
It beat out Homecoming. That's crazy.
Following year, 44. Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. Beat out
Interesting.
Incredibles 2.
Because I kind of thought Jurassic World came out and people were like, that was fine. So I'm kind of surprised that the sequels.
I feel like people
Kept
really
it up.
liked the first one.
Yeah. How did it
And
go?
then second one is
World-
where people fell off.
Jurassic World was the first one.
Yes.
And then it was.
Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom.
and
That
then
was the second one.
The next one was
And then-
Dominion.
Yes.
I
The second one lost a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I understand why, but I was like, I still love it.
Yeah.
Still great. 45, The Lion King, live action.
Tough one.
Yeah.
What did it beat
What
out?
is it? Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Jeez.
Jeez.
Far From Home wasn't the best one.
Oh, I loved it. I think it's my favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
It was all right. I had my problems with it.
I liked that like MJ was actually in it.
Yeah,
Like
that's
the first
true.
one, she was just like a little Easter egg, basically.
Yeah.
46, Top Gun: Maverick.
Saved the theater.
Mm-hmm.
See, but like I don't agree with that because a few months earlier, No Way Home came out.
It's also true.
And I feel like that saved the theater, but people don't want to say anything nice about Marvel. So they didn't say it.
But I'll say my mom went to the theater to watch. I saw Top Gun Maverick with her. She would not have gone
Yeah.
to see Spider-Man.
So
Yeah,
I
I
feel like
think-
Top Gun Maverick saved it for people over a certain age. Because like,
But like the masses,
That's what
like
people-
not just
Yeah.
Right, the
Marvel
mess is
fans.
like everyone.
yeah, sure. The beach scene from that movie saved cinema. That's all anyone cared about when they're playing football on the
Yeah,
beach.
Yeah.
It was good. I wish I saw it in theaters. I didn't.
Miles Teller playing Great Balls of Fire and piano.
Yeah.
Bar. Come on. Cinema.
Glenn Powell.
Glenn Powell. That was my first Glenn
Oh,
Powell
yeah.
exposure.
Mm-hmm.
Except he was in Spy Kids 3
Oh
3D
my god,
as like a kid.
that's crazy.
Wow.
And so I had seen Glenn Powell. I just didn't notice it.
And he was in the show Scream Queens, and no one cared about him back then.
Yes. Did you see that clip where someone asked him what character he would like to revisit, and he
He
said
said-
that character?
Chad Radwell from
Yes.
Scream Queens. Yeah.
Yeah, Top Gun Maverick. Now I've seen Glenn Powell everywhere.
Okay, 47. Barbie,
Yes.
2023.
Epic.
I mean, if you want to talk about saving the theater.
Yeah. We're going to be talking about Barbie for the rest of our lives.
I mean, Summer of Barbie was insane. I think
People were
what
ready
makes
for
it,
it.
what makes it a particularly unique blockbuster is that it released in July. A lot of these were May
Yeah.
and June releases, and you had the summer to go and see it. This one was you had the summer to anticipate it, because like the hype train was rolling,
Yeah.
and it was
It
like
was full steam ahead.
you got to get on the
It was
train.
end of July.
And right, like end of July it comes out, and everyone sees it like within those
Right.
few weeks.
And two, we had gone, through all the superhero stories, origin stories. This is the first time they like had a
Right.
toy become a movie,
Right.
and like that was like another new thing almost.
I like the joke that I was like, Barbie's marketing team was so good that it marketed 2 movies at once because of the Barbenheimer
Yeah.
hype.
Yeah.
And I love that, like, who made Oppenheimer?
Christopher Nolan.
Yeah. So I love that, like, people were like, "Oh, are you gonna switch it? Are you gonna like switch the date?" And he was like, "No, this is great for me. I don't have
Right.
to do anything."
I love this.
Right.
Right. How many people were never gonna see Oppenheimer because like historical movie,
Yeah.
bunch of men in a movie, whatever. Christopher Nolan, not my kind of movie. Like he has a particular style. Like I don't want to see it. But they go see Barbie and they're like, hey, might as well go see Oppenheimer.
I wouldn't have seen Oppenheimer if
Exactly.
it weren't for the hype.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then current year, as of right now, it's Inside Out 2, which I don't see it.
Could become Twisters.
That's true.
But
Twisters.
I mean, how much
released
does-
yet?
So far, they've
just
made
came out.
$1.3 billion. No, million. No, billion.
Twisters?
No, Inside Out 2.
Twisters isn't out yet, right?
Twisters just came out this past
Oh,
week.
never mind. Inside Out made over $1 billion.
Twisters would have to do really well,
Twisters would have to do insane.
which I'm sure it will, but I don't know that well.
Yeah.
But I did forget that Inside Out 2 was the highest grossing animated movie of all time.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It passed. What did it pass?
Mario?
Yes. Mario
Which is
became.
crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't
Weird.
realize there was that much.
Hype. Me either. Like,
Yeah.
I was excited just
A
because
Pixar
like,
sequel.
I liked it.
A
but-
Pixar sequel that was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is still unique with any sequel it does. Like,
Right.
it won't ever feel like they're just recycling stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Heck of a list.
We'll see. Maybe Twister will pass it.
Right. Maybe. Did we want to go through like our personal favorites?
Yeah.
Now that we ran through the whole list.
Yeah. Mine, I feel like, does not, like, I feel like no one would agree with mine, and it's because it's so personal.
That's all right. Let's hear them.
I mean, they're already popular.
Yeah, that's true.
They're already
Okay.
popular movies.
So, well, actually, I guess my first one, I have to be basic and say it's probably Barbie. Just because that was
Why
the
not?
most excited
Yeah.
I've ever been.
That's yeah.
Do we want to, like, should I say my whole list?
Yeah, just
Go on.
let's do you.
Number 2 is Jurassic World.
Nice.
That was awesome. It was so exciting. I also went after I'd recently gotten my wisdom teeth out, so I was very uncomfortable the whole time, but it was so worth it.
It was so good it didn't matter.
Yeah. Number 3, I'm probably gonna say Finding Nemo just because of the nostalgia. It's the first movie I remember like seeing in theaters.
Yeah.
Number 4, the second Jurassic World, because I saw it in IMAX. And number 5, A New Hope.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Just like
Right.
Yeah, epic. Right.
yeah.
You would have gone seen it.
I would have totally been there. And I love just the whole story about them thinking it was gonna fail and it
That is fun.
becoming what it is. So.
Right. So most of my list were things I did not go see in theater. So Jaws, top of the
I
list.
feel like that works. Though it's like your perceived
Right.
blockbuster. Yeah.
And I've seen one of these in theater. I saw Jaws in theater.
Just
It-
not in 19.
Just not in 1975. And then The Dark Knight. Also did not see it in theater. I was 8. Probably couldn't have gone and seen it.
Yeah.
And then Star Wars: A New Hope.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna list one of the other ones, but I mean Star Wars kicked it off. Then Shrek 2.
Nice.
Shrek 1 is great. Shrek 2 is just the better movie.
You're right. I agree. You didn't see that in theaters?
I was 4,
Oh.
so unless my mom brought me and I forgot, but I don't think I did. And then technically this one was not on the list, and technically it's hardly even a blockbuster. I was shocked to learn it was 9th in summer 2015.
Wow.
But I do not care. It has the feel of a blockbuster.
Definitely.
It was
You've
Mad
gone
Max.
rogue.
It was Mad Max Fury Road.
I agree.
I mean, that is a blockbuster in everything but what actually happened at the box office.
Right. What was happening in 2015?
What was 2015? I forget. It was
Well,
something.
on this list,
The top one. It
Jurassic
was
World
Jurassic World.
and Avengers: Age of Ultron.
And Avengers Age
So you
of
had no
Ultron.
shot.
It's
It
a
had a
tough
really
competition.
tough competition. And Mad Max is obviously this was a reboot or a sequel still. But it's not like the original Mad Max trilogy was this like big thing that everyone was so excited to come back.
Right.
Well, the new Mad Max that came out this year, Furiosa,
Furiosa.
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 Sorry,
It's not
I said
Furiosa.
I said the
Furiosa.
I said the feminine one. It's masculine. I heard I don't think it did amazing at the box office,
Her
but
kind of flopped.
yeah, but I heard
sad.
from some people that like the movie's actually really good, and they
Yes.
were like, it's just hard to convince people now to like see sequels, even though like this really isn't. It's just in the world.
Right.
of Mad Max.
Right.
In a world, it's a prequel. It's a Mad Max prequel without Max in it. But Furiosa was such a cool character. But it was also 10 years later that they're like, by the way, you guys remember that movie?
Yeah.
The 9th highest grossing film in summer of 2015.
Yeah. People just don't trust like reboots of any kind anymore, which is fair.
Yeah. But I mean, there's still Inside Out 2, Jurassic. I mean, sequels and reboots
It's what we have now.
they're the blockbusters.
That's it.
But
Well,
also, they always
That's where the
have been.
hype comes from.
They always have been.
Yeah.
Jaws was a book. It was a book
Yeah.
released like the year before.
Oh wow.
They pumped out the movie to ride on the coattails of the book.
And Jurassic Park.
And Jurassic
Book.
Park was a
Like
book.
if there was a Barbie 2 next summer, the hype would be crazy.
I don't know.
People really don't want more Barbies though. They want
Well,
it to be left
that's true.
alone.
That's true.
Like that was a good movie. I don't see where they go next.
If they did another,
Unless-
if they did another like
It would have to be
toy, though,
like a different
it would
Barbie,
be-
not Margot Robbie's
Yeah.
character. They would have to go with someone else. Then I'd watch it.
or like a different like, what are they, Mattel or like,
Yeah.
like if they did a different like iconic toy or something and made a movie about it.
Well, Mattel is already
as big.
trying to ride off of this, but they want to make like a Monopoly movie. It's like I'm not sure you guys are understanding why
right.
Barbie was popular.
Yeah. I guess Barbie's not a good example.
They made
But
a
like if
Tetris
you have
movie.
a sick like blockbuster and then a couple years later you
Right.
follow up with a like
That's true.
a
Something
sequel
else.
to it, then you're gonna like. There's just part of that.
I
Hype,
mean-
think, that
Yeah.
follows through.
Revenge of the Sith was a blockbuster, despite how Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones performed, or not performed, but
Were
how
perceived.
good they were. How good they were.
Yeah.
So you're right. People go see something.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just saying that the sequels sometimes bring a little bit of that previous hype with
Right.
them,
For
Yeah.
sure.
and then it's like kind of an
Absolutely.
easy way to get into it.
I feel like Pixar already has like a leg up that like every sequel they do does well,
Yeah.
even if it's bad. But like what Incredibles 2 did by like it came out when the kids who saw the first one were
Right.
like older, and they
Right.
marketed it solely towards those kids.
Right.
Like
Right.
it was for kids too, but they were
Right.
like, but this is for the people who watched the first one. Like,
Right,
this
right.
You
one's
guys
for
remember
you.
when The
Yeah.
Incredibles
And
came
I
out?
ate it up. It was so like it worked on me.
Yeah.
I mean, The Incredibles was my favorite Pixar film.
Yeah.
And then they said, we're making a second one. And I was like, I now have my own money and can
Yeah.
drive and go and buy a ticket. It's like, of course I'm going to do
It
that.
was so exciting. And at least when it like first came out, before the movie started, a video of like Sam Jackson came up and he was like, "This one's for you guys."
Oh, really?
And I was
They
like,
had, yeah.
"Oh my god!"
They had like all the actors and the voices be like,
Yeah, like
I was so excited to come back to this. It was like, we're going to do right by you guys. I'm like, oh, God.
I was like, ooh.
They're
So like
looking out for us.
that's my honorable mention for like favorite blockbuster because it's not on this list, but
Mm-hmm.
it's one of my favorites.
Did you finish your list?
Yeah, Mad Max. was
I had Grease just because it was epic.
Mm-hmm.
Still good. Still a classic. Jurassic Park, just one of my favorites. I wish I was older when that like original like dinosaur was
Right.
like huge.
I mean,
on the
if you
screen.
if you love Transformer dinosaurs
Right.
being on the big screen,
The original.
imagine in 1980 whatever or 1991,
93.
93.
Yeah.
Imagine being a kid and being like, you want to see a dinosaur move around on a movie? And you're
Right.
like, heck yeah, I do.
Chase people like that's epic. And then we get to where I was actually able to watch a movie, Lion King. That was like huge, so much hype. Fast forward to when I'm older, Dark Knight, epic. So much hype around that, and it delivered. And then gotta have Transformers: Age of Extinction on there.
Just any of them. Any Transformer is a blockbuster for Cam.
Right. So yeah, I also had honorable mentions. Toy Story 3 was just like tears in the theater
Rip your heart
as
out.
they hold hands. Yeah. The Pirates series, like all the ones that were blockbusters, just like I felt like there was a ton of hype around those. And the original, the Spider-Man 2002, was also a big deal
Yeah,
for me.
I imagine.
But yeah,
Jurassic World, it's like speaking of sequels that like make it work. They were original in that they were like, oh, you guys loved Jurassic Park and like things went so crazy in that movie, but this time the park opens and like that was their big sell of like you never saw the park open before.
Right.
Now it is.
yeah.
That was like the only thing I think in the teaser trailer was just like the park's open. And everyone was like, what? That's crazy.
How did this get approved?
I know, seriously.
I want a prequel about just like court hearings and
Right?
lawyers.
Because the characters would casually be like, oh yeah, you know that thing that happened. in the 90s, we don't do it. But that's fine now. It's fine.
We figured it out.
We have electricity, like the gates will zap you.
Technology's
It's like,
there.
yeah, does that work the first time?
Our computers are better. They're not gonna, no one can hack them.
Right.
Yeah. So there we go. We'll see if anything changes for this summer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not impossible.
Right.
Right.
We'll see what Twisters has in
Right.
store.
Inside Out 2 has put in the work, but Twisters has been marketed as the blockbuster.
Yes.
I do feel like Twisters has that like masses thing.
Right.
It's not. It's a one-off or
Right.
not. I mean, it's kind of a remake.
And
too,
it's
but, like,
all the people who saw Twister, singular,
Yeah.
Right.
or they're gonna be like, oh, that was a fun movie. I'll see this one.
Right.
Now with multiple Twisters.
Yeah.
Like I said it earlier, but I think any movie with like a monster, a disaster, anything that's like big and like bad always does well. in the summer.
Yeah. Right.
People love it.
Yeah,
Right.
Exactly.
Right. I don't want to think about man versus self. Man versus man. I want humankind versus an unstoppable force.
Yes.
Dumb. Like I'm gonna root for
That's
the
it.
humans.
That's
every time.
Blockbuster
Right.
recipe.
We're the good guys all the time.
It's the one season where people love CGI.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Every other time they're like, give us a real movie.
Yeah.
Come on.
Summer, it's like,
Put some
no,
heart into it.
Who wrote
No.
this?
just be really
Dumb.
loud. You don't even have to be good.
Yeah. Something big.
Looking ahead, taking from a movie that was a summer blockbuster, Alien Romulus is coming out August 16th.
Are you sure you want to do this? There she is.
You want to break in and steal highly regulated equipment.
This could be our only ticket out of here. Should be in and out in 30 minutes.
Welcome to the Romulus Space Station.
This place gives me the creeps.
What the hell is this?
I don't know.
was that? Young?
Stop playing around, man. Just get up.
I'm not playing around. There's something in the water.
What do you mean there's something in the
I don't know.
water?
There's just something in the water.
Run.
Are you alright? Whatever comes, we'll face it together.
Let's go.
Impact event in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Pretty intense.
They have a formula and it always works. I didn't expect the trailer to show that much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
some in
there's a lot of
A little gnarly.
a lot of body horror in that.
Yeah. Which I guess that's their thing, right?
Yeah, but I feel like
Used to be, I mean, you couldn't show that much in the first one.
Right.
yeah,
There was a lot more regulations, and I kind of liked
and
it
also
that
just
way.
like the effects
Yeah, they've gotten
have
creative.
gotten better over the years.
Yeah. Jeez.
But yeah, that's intense.
This one takes place between Alien and Aliens.
Ah.
And they said it's just a standalone, which I
I
feel
was
like
gonna
is
say,
better
yeah,
for
it
them.
looks like it's like not. It has nothing to do with.
Oh yeah, it seems like everyone's gonna die.
Yeah,
Because I do know, I never really watched them, but I know that like the newer ones they've tried to make, they've tried to be like creative and like change the story a bit. And they never really do well.
Yeah.
And then the ones where they're just like, let's just throw them on a ship and there's an alien.
They're in
That's
space.
when people are like, yeah, that's what it is.
You got it.
right. I think I've only actually seen the first one, but I think some of them like they land on the planet where the aliens
Yes.
are from, like try to establish the lore of like the hierarchy of the aliens. It's like
Yeah.
no, like,
No.
Alone in Space and the aliens.
Aliens is
Nothing.
really good.
I know. I need to
It's basically just Alien with a little more action.
like Twister and Twisters.
Yes. Aliens, they said, what if there's more than one alien?
Right. In Twisters, they said, "What if there's more than one Twister?" It's a formula that works. Really, anything that's a
Yeah.
singular, anything
Yeah, if
that's
you're gonna
one
make a
singular
sequel.
threat, then sequel would just be more of that one thing.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I don't,
They kind of messed up with Jaws having the original be plural already.
yeah. Is the
Right.
second one?
Like two sharks.
There's not two sharks in the second one,
No.
is there? Okay.
It's
mean-
technically
They did that with
no, it's a different shark.
they're like, we have Godzilla, we have Kong. Now we're gonna put them
Right.
together.
Yeah.
Like imagine if they had Godzilla. I know Godzilla is the lone entity. Imagine if they made a sequel called Godzilla's.
Oh god.
Crazy.
That'd be great.
I
That'd be
mean,
insane.
the most recent one was basically, what if there was more King
Kongs.
Kongs?
That's true.
Right.
Kongs.
But some of them aren't nice.
No.
That's the thing.
That's what gets you.
So this comes out August 16th, so like also summer release. I don't know if I'll see this one.
It kind of intense.
It looks a little too intense for me.
I might check it out. I don't know.
I don't know.
I think I'd watch it when it comes to a streaming service, maybe.
So you
And
can,
I can
so you
know.
can pause it or mute it if you have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that I
Little
can
bit.
out loud be like, tell me when it's over.
Right.
But yeah. When
Great.
was I don't know what just made me think of this. Disturbing movies, I think. Nope was this summer. Blockbuster, I guess, by Jordan
was-
Peele. That was like 2 years ago.
Nope.
I don't know what it was
a
up
few
against.
years ago.
Though. Yeah, maybe
That
three.
might have been. I think Nope might have been like 2021 or 22, like coming off the end of the pandemic, and like it couldn't quite have a big summer release.
Yeah. And I think it was following A Quiet Place 2, which also wasn't on the list, so clearly didn't do that well.
Yeah.
I think
But-
Quiet Place 2. I also think that came out in like September, I think, towards the end of 2021. So So I don't think that was a summer blockbuster. But that was the first movie I saw back in theaters.
Same.
And then Spider-Man and Top Gun Maverick.
Came back strong.
Now I got Alien coming up.
Yeah, we got Alien Romulus coming out. Yeah. So maybe we'll see some of these movies.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see Twisters.
Right.
And we'll see if this changes by the end of the summer.
Yeah.
Who knows? See you next time on Streaming.